So you've seen the inside of Sefton Place. Now let me show you around the grounds, which are divided up into a few distinct areas. We've got 1 acre of land to play with. First of all is this big car park area. Now this is a little bit overgrown. We're going to need to do some cutting back in order to see exactly what we're dealing with. You can see here that the previous owners had created a kind of hidden space for the commercial bins, which is actually a really good idea. So I think we're gonna clean that up and make use of that. We've got container storage, which is brilliant for supplies, maybe spare furniture. You can never have enough storage when it comes to an apart hotel. And we've got a sort of makeshift shed that may well go, because we've got to look at the practicality of managing a space on this scale. We've got to have room for green space that is screened away from guests. But you can see that the car park itself is pretty overgrown. It's a little bit worse for wear, so we've got to cut all this back just to see what we're dealing with. We should have capacity for at least 20 vehicles in this car park. I don't think there is currently, but once we've cleared all of that vegetation and weeds and some of the overgrown shrubs, I think we should have plenty of capacity. But we then need to plan and order the car park so it's just not a free-for-all. As we cross over to the front of the property, this is a shared driveway that runs up to our neighbours who are at the back of the property, and then we come up to the front terrace. Now you can see the front entrance at the moment is pretty underwhelming, so we are looking at ways to create a slightly more inspiring approach to the building. But then you've got this lovely kind of formal lawned area here, which we are figuring out what we're going to do with. So it's surrounded by mature shrubs and trees. We've got beautiful countryside in every direction. The setting is fantastic. So lots of ideas are brewing, because ultimately we want to make the most of this amenity space for guests without it just becoming a drain on resources. We need to make sure that the maintenance costs are not too high and that hopefully we can get some productivity out of it. So as we go around to the side of the property here, again, you can see that the terrace is a wraparound terrace, which is really cool. And we've got an external shower and toilet block, which could be really useful if we are ever thinking about, I don't know, some glamping or shepherd's huts or something, but that's a little bit further in the future. We're also planning to put some washing machines in there as a bit of a guest laundry. So plans for that space. The terrace itself is a beautiful feature. At the moment it's roofed with perspex, which is a little bit tatty, a little bit dirty. So again, we are exploring different ideas of how we can roof that whilst retaining the light into what will become guest suites on the ground floor. Then as we cross back over the shared driveway, we have this lovely orchard area. We must have 10, maybe 15 varieties of apples and pears on the plot here. So if anybody watching this happens to be an expert in varieties of fruit, we'd love to hear from you, because we'd love to know what we've got to play with. You can hear a green woodpecker in the background. There's so much nature and wildlife in this garden. We've had rabbits, we've had green woodpeckers, we've had red kites over, absolutely all sorts. So it is a lovely sanctuary. So again, you've got this kind of orchard space here, this informal orchard, and then the back of the plot has really been let go a little bit. It goes back quite a long way, and the previous owners have sort of let this go to sort of weeds and shrubs a little bit. Having said that, we do need to retain access to the cesspit, so we're not on mains sewerage here, so we have a fenced off area that we need to retain access to empty the sewer. So we're going to have to work out the practicalities of that one as well. But it is really a big plot with so much potential, and that's what's really exciting. This is the first time we've had a project where we've had some grounds to work with as well. So we're exploring lots of different ideas, and please feel free to drop some comments at the bottom here to let us know what you would do with some of these spaces. You can see the previous owners kept chickens previously, so there's a bit of a makeshift chicken run and compost space, but it's a bit of an eyesore. It's a bit tatty. Obviously we can't leave it like this if we're going for a premium feel for our guests, so we need to clear this space and again look at what we're going to do with it. There's the old chicken house, as you can see, but lots of potential. Lots of potential and lots of exciting plans. I'm going to do a separate video where we talk through some of the plans that we've already got in place, but it'd be really useful to know what you guys think. As we head back over to the property again, almost the whole side frontage, if you like, of the property is dedicated to or will be a standalone holiday let. And I really like what we've got going on here, this sort of informal kind of cottage garden style. It just needs a little bit of rejuvenating and planting into. But the holiday let itself will have access to its own private garden. So again, you can see another fantastic, I think this is a crab apple. That is another variety of apple that we've got on site here. And this picketed off area is going to be a designated garden just for those that book the holiday lets separately. So there it is. So capacity of, let's say, 6 guests, and they've got their own private garden. At the moment, it's a kind of slightly scrappy, informal lawn area. We've got some tidying up to do, some old raspberry canes and some chicken wire that need cleaning over there. But we've got this nice space to play with this lovely little summer house. At the moment, it's a shed. But we've had a summer house like this before where we've been able to work some creative magic and turn it into a lovely feature. There's a fig tree and we've got olive trees. There's so much to play with, so much potential. It's got lovely bones, just like the property. And then if that isn't enough, you can hear the train going past here. That's the train directly through to Arundel station. We go to this private section at the back here, which has a pond and a water fountain and a beautiful terrace. This catches the evening sun, lovely for cocktails. So we're really going to make something of that space. We have to think practically about the pond. As lovers, personally, I love ponds, but we have to think about the health and safety side of things. So whether or not that stays, it is fenced off, but we have to consider that one. So hopefully you found that useful to see what we're working with. Keep checking back for regular updates, guys. I want to really bring you the behind the scenes of what goes into a project like this, so please like and subscribe.